First, Beyonce got real with fans about her weight loss journey leading up to her now infamous performance at Coachella. In a new video, she even revealed her weight. Take a look.
Good morning. It's 5 a.m. and this is day one of rehearsals for Coachella. Every woman's nightmare. This is my weight. 175. Long way to go. Let's get it.
Ooh. Some fans think Beyonce is taking the wrong approach with her body, focusing too much on numbers and looks. Here to chat about it is the host of In Case You Missed It by HuffPost, Miss Heather Gardner.
Yeah. Woo!
Let's get it.
Friday.
Wow.
Woo!
Heather, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me again.
So, give us the down low on what's going on with Beyonce.
Well, you saw that little intro. This was about a 2-minute video she posted on her personal YouTube page. It was in conjunction, as we now know, an ad for this nutrition diet called 22 Days Nutrition. And basically, she revealed her weight post-pregnancy leading up to Coachella, 175 pounds. And over the 2-minute video, she just really talked about this vegan diet, her rigorous exercise and dance routines leading up to Coachella.
Yeah. And someone said that every woman's nightmare is a quote from Beyonce. Beyonce said that?
Yeah, she said that right there in that video. She goes,
I'm gonna
step on the scale, every woman's nightmare. Yeah.
What is that every woman's nightmare?
Well, I think that's kind of where this debate is happening here. Is it, or should it be every woman's nightmare to reveal her weight, to step on the scale? We as women kind of do that. I don't know, do men do that too? Do they think about that in the same way?
No, probably not. I mean,
So for
sometimes,
women.
but I purposely don't go on the scale a lot because I know I would be obsessed with numbers because I have some like OCD a little bit.
You just
so
look in the mirror.
I just look in the mirror and say, does this look right?
I feel like most men go based on like looking in the mirror. Women,
Yeah.
I think, are a little more concerned.
We are very, we're very concerned about what the scale says every day. And I think the debate here is that it shouldn't be women's nightmare. And Beyonce, with such a huge platform, is putting this out there and just falling into the stereotypical things that women are concerned about their weight and that we must jump on the scale and be a certain size or certain number for whoever.
So people are talking about this, but are they concerned about Beyonce revealing this, or are they like empowered by it?
It's a little bit of both. So I pulled some tweets here because it did have this like fierce debate online here. Here's one where this person was disappointed in Beyonce. Said, I'm disappointed to hear her calling her weight post-twins, like you said, every woman's nightmare, and promoting a very restrictive diet. It's a vegan diet. Perhaps use your star power to promote body positivity and beauty at any size. But then we had a lot of people who did kind of find it very inspiring because as the video goes on and as we saw in the documentary, she did lose a lot of weight. She got her body back into her Beyonce status here. She fit into clothes that she hadn't in a long time. And it was empowering to see that. So we had a lot of people coming to her defense.
Yeah, I'm sort of on the track that she was more sharing her journey. I think after a woman has twins, she got up to over 200 pounds. Even when she lost all the weight, she still looked curvy and healthy and natural.
She did,
So I feel like she was just sharing her journey, which I think is something that a lot of women go through after having a baby. So I didn't feel like there was anything negative.
Maybe it was the fact that it was, like we said, in conjunction with an ad.
Right.
Yeah.
This is a very restrictive vegan diet.
But I think there's a couple components to this. As a Beyonce fan, I appreciate. One, she's rarely this vulnerable. And when you watch the Coachella documentary, when she talks about how she says it in this trailer too, she felt like her body wasn't hers. And her dancing is not based off a lot of technical skill. It's a lot of emotion and feeling and body movement. And so it's really about, I think, getting from how any woman should feel comfortable with their body. And for her, what I got from it, she didn't feel comfortable in her own skin anymore, which is very powerful to hear from Beyonce.
And not even blaming her one bit. She grew 2 humans.
Yes, exactly.
I mean, she did a lot. And so many millions of women go through this where they don't feel like themselves post-pregnancy. My sister's going through it right now. You're not yourself. You, like I said, you grew humans, you know? So, but you're right. She was very vulnerable. We don't get to see her 5 a.m. voice, you know, anytime. We don't get to see the inner workings of what she does. And gosh, watching that documentary, that inspired me. But I did, when I watched the documentary, not realizing that this 22 days ad was gonna come out, when she said in the documentary, I'm so hungry. My heart ached for her because she went through so much. And I felt, at the time, I felt like she was putting that pressure on herself to look a certain way. But then the other side of that, she is a dancer. She's a professional. She's the top of her
Right.
genre. Yeah, exactly. So she has certain standards for herself. She has certain energy that she has to keep up.
Yeah.
But I just don't think you'd be able to do a show like that if you weren't sticking to a rigorous diet
Right.
and exercise regime. She's training like an Olympic athlete. And also, but I think what's funny, I've been seeing this on Twitter, how do you think the Beehive is gonna react? I mean, are they eating grass in the park right now? Like, are they just like shoving vegetables in?
You know what? It's so funny because I had never heard of the 22 days nutrition. So immediately I did a little Google search. You want to know what's completely sold out? Every single product on the 22 days nutrition website. Yeah. So a lot of people really did say, you've inspired me. But again, like, I mean, gosh, if you've never done a vegan diet before, I've tried it. I said I was going to do 30 days. I lasted about 30 minutes.
Yeah.
So
Really
yeah,
hard.
I could barely
very
do
hard.
a week.
I couldn't do it. It was, honestly, it wasn't even the meat. It was cheese. I love cheese so
dairy.
much.
I also just think, like, I understand this is her journey and her story, but you have to, I've been learning myself that when I talk about myself and my own weight and my body dysmorphia, that I could also be triggering someone because people compare themselves, and if you look different than someone and they think you're closer to the ideal than them, it can be like hard for them to deal with that, and it can send them into a spiral. And I think when she's sharing this and she is able in a position where she is very privileged, she has help, she has discipline, she has a schedule where she could use, you know, all this insane time to just focus on getting fit. Other people can be kind of stuck where they're like, well, I actually can't do this. I work at the post office and I sit all day and I don't have time to just like focus on my body, and or many other things, like if it's mental illness or a disability, some people just cannot reach their goal weight and they have to learn to love themselves at 175 or whatever it is. And also like veganism, listen, I try to eat vegan as much as possible, but it's not for everyone for many reasons, and sometimes it's economical, like
I was just about to say that.
It's expensive.
It's expensive, especially because this promotes organic groceries. And let's not forget to mention that Beyonce has trainers, nutritionists, people handing her food. That was also a part that we didn't get to see in that little clip. But she had chefs making her food, and for her and her entire team of dancers and performers.
But so I think that's why it's important that she shows that, because other than just disappearing for 6 months and then coming back looking all tight, she's actually showing us, these are my struggles. This is all the help I have. This is my reality. I think it actually is important for her to show that because her life is so much different than most women.
Yep.
And so she's showing it how hard it is for her, even. And I feel like other women may give themselves a break because they're like, well, I don't have
I
one.
guess I would agree with you if it wasn't an ad. Like, 'cause she's getting paid so much money to do this. And in fact, like back in 2015 with the same 22 days nutrition guy, his name is Marco Borges, they launched a vegan delivery service together. So this is her business.
It's a business.
Yeah.
It's a business. And so that to me was what rubbed me the wrong way. Listen, I love Beyonce. I love me some Beyonce. I think she is completely inspiring, and this really did give me a moment of inspiration. Like, gosh, she did this. She's dealing with the same struggles that so many women are dealing with, so many people are dealing with, and she's being vulnerable. But at the end of the day, I just had to remember it's an ad.
She also said she would never do that again. In the documentary, after she went through the weight
Never do
loss
what again?
and after the diet she was on, how hard she was working, all the rehearsals, she was like, I did it, I'm proud I did it, I will never do that to myself again. That was so
I wish
hard.
it was in the ad, to be honest, because, well, I guess that wouldn't be a very good ad now, would it?
Well,
No, but-
she did once say women
22 days. I will never do it.
Yeah, she actually did it twice, too. She did it for 44 days,
Yes.
which is,
Crazy.
woo, crazy. Anyway, what were we
I was
saying?
to say strong enough to make these children then get back to business. I mean, that is one her lyrics, one of her songs.
Yes, it is.
You know, so we can't get mad. She has kids and gets back to
that
business
is
shortly
one
after.
of the lyrics.
Run the world.
Her song.
Run the world.
Oh, man. Heather, thanks so much for joining
Thank you
us.
for having me, guys. Happy Friday.
You can catch it In Case You Missed It by HuffPost on HuffPost.com and Yahoo's Roku channel.